All right, buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to embark on a journey so thrilling, so edge of your seat, it'll make applying for jobs almost enjoyable. Almost. You've clicked on this video, which means one of three things. You're actively wrestling with the job market beast, you're preemptively sharpening your resume sword, or you just have a panache for career advice in your downtime. No shame in any of those games, my friend. Today, we're not just building a resume, we're architecting a career catapult. Think of your resume as your professional protagonist. It needs to have a compelling backstory, highlighting its most impressive feats, and leave the reader wanting more, like the end of a particularly gripping limited series. Because let's face it, recruiters spend roughly the same amount of time glancing at your meticulously crafted document as it takes from a fruit fly to contemplate the meaning of existence. We're talking seconds here, people. So every single pixel needs to be pulling its weight, like a tiny, highly motivated Sherpa guiding the recruiter up Mount, yes, we should interview this person. Let's get into this. By the time we're through, you'll possess a resume so ATS friendly, it's practically whispering sweet nothings to the algorithm, which, let's be honest, is the ultimate goal, to go from digital dust bunny to the subject of HR water cooler gossip. The good kind, anyway. Step 1. Picking a format that isn't stuck in the dial-up era. First off, let's talk templates. If your resume is sporting a design last seen on a GoCities website, you need an intervention. It's 2025, folks. Let's bring your professional presentation into the current century, preferably one with decent Wi-Fi. You've got three main contenders in the resume format. Chronological. This is the classic. This is great if your career trajectory has been a straight shot, a beautiful, unbroken line of professional progress. Think of it as the historical documentary of your work life. The functional. This one's for folks whose career path looks more like a Jackson Pollock painting. Lots of interesting splatters, but maybe not a clear narrative. However, be warned, recruiters often view functional resumes with the same suspicion they reserve for unsolicited LinkedIn connection requests from people they've never met. It can sometimes scream, "Look at my skills," not the gaps where I was, say, training competitive squirrels. It's a thing. The hybrid. This is the sweet spot. This is the Goldilocks of resume formats. It lets you flaunt your skills and your experience in a harmonious blend. It's like a perfectly mixed cocktail, all the right ingredients, just the right proportions. If you're wrestling with indecision, lean towards the hybrid. It allows you to showcase your talents without making recruiters think you're playing hide and seek with your employment history. Because let's be real, if a recruiter spots a purely functional resume, their internal monologue often goes something like, "And what exactly are we trying to obscure here? Did they moonlight as a mime and witness protection?" Step 2. Contact information that doesn't make you look like a time traveler or a spam bot. This might seem like stating the obvious, but you'd be surprised by the resume relics we've all encountered. Your name should be prominent, easily legible, and spelled correctly. Yes, believe it or not, typos happen in the most crucial of places. It's like forgetting the you in your, a small oversight with surprisingly large implications. Your email address needs to be professional. If you're still rocking, "It's time for an upgrade," that address might have been acceptable for coordinating college keggers, but it screams potential HR headache now. Opt for something clean and simple, like thrive@gmail.com. It's the digital equivalent of a firm handshake. And please, include your LinkedIn URL. If you don't have one, then consider that your homework. Hiring managers are essentially digital detectives these days, and your LinkedIn profile is a prime piece of evidence. Make it easy for them to connect the dots and see the full picture of your awesomeness. Think of it as your professional highlight reel, minus the questionable dance moves from that one party in 2011. Step 3. The headline. This is your resume's punchline. It's not a prequel. Gone are the days of the resume opening with a soul-crushingly generic objective to obtain a challenging position where I can utilize my skills and contribute to the growth of the sort of... That's about as exciting as watching paint dry. This isn't 2005, it's 2025. Let's inject some personality and some purpose. I said purpose, not porpoise. Instead, craft a headline that's a concise, compelling snapshot of your professional identity. Think along these lines. Strategic marketing manager, driving brand growth and digital innovation. Senior data analyst, transforming insights into actionable strategies. Agile project leader, delivering complex projects on time and under budget. This single line should immediately tell them who you are, what you bring to the table, and why they should keep reading. It's your resume's that opening chord that grabs their attention and makes them think,
"Oh, tell me more."
Step 4. The summary. Because recruiters aren't mind readers, right beneath your attention-grabbing headline, you'll want to add a brief professional summary. Think of this as your elevator pitch in written form, the kind you deliver if you accidentally got stuck in an elevator with the CEO of your dream company, minus that awkward small talk about the weather. Keep it to 3 to 4 impactful sentences. Hit these key points. Your core expertise. What are you really good at? What's your superpower? Relevant industry experience. What sectors have you navigated? What battlegrounds have you conquered? Your biggest, most brag-worthy strength. What's the one thing that makes you stand out from the crowd? Here's an example to get your gears turning. Highly accomplished software engineer with 8+ years of experience in developing scalable and innovative web applications. Proficient in full-stack development with a strong focus on Python and JavaScript frameworks. Proven ability to lead cross-functional teams and consistently exceed project goals, resulting in 15% increase in user engagement.
Bam!
In a few short sentences, they know your value proposition without having to play Sherlock Holmes with the rest of your resume. Hey, if you're getting value from this video, drop a like or a comment down below, or even your favorite emoji. Really helps the engagement. Thanks. Step 5. Work experience, where the rubber meets the road and hopefully shows some traction. This is where many resumes go to languish in the sea of vague responsibilities. Your job titles and company names are just the starting point. Hiring managers aren't as interested in where you've been as they are in what you've accomplished while you were there. For each role, follow this winning formula. Job title, company, date of employment. Keep it clear, keep it consistent. 2 to 3 bullet points that showcase your impact, not your tasks. Now let's dissect the difference. This is what you don't do. Responsible for managing social media accounts. Yawn. This is what you should say. Spearheaded the social media strategy across all platforms, resulting in 40% increase in follower engagement and a 20% boost in web traffic within 6 months. Now we're talking. Numbers and impact. The recruiters love language. Numbers are your friends here. Quantify your achievements whenever possible. Did you increase sales? Then by how much? Did you streamline a process? What were the tangible results of you doing so? Use powerful action verbs that paint a picture of someone who gets things done. Think words like optimize, implemented, launched, negotiated, reduced, developed, and mentored. These words add a certain je ne sais quoi to your accomplishments, making you sound like a professional powerhouse. Step 6. Skills. Your arsenal of awesomeness and ATS bait. Your skills section needs to be both easily scannable for human eyes and keyword rich for those tireless digital gatekeepers, the applicant tracking systems, ATS. Hard skills are your technical proficiency, the tangible things you can do. Think coding language, software proficiency, specific methodologies. Soft skills are your interpersonal abilities, the way you work with others. Think communication, teamwork, problem solving. Now, let's
break it down.
Hard skills. List these explicitly in a dedicated section. Think programming languages, Python, Java, software, Adobe Creative Suite, Salesforce, methodologies, Agile, Scrum, and any other quantifiable technical abilities. Soft skills. Don't just list these as buzzwords. Instead, weave them into your work experience bullet points. Show, don't tell. For example, instead of writing teamwork, you could say collaborated effectively with a cross-functional team to launch a new product feature ahead of schedule. Pro tip for the ATS here. Tailor your skills section to each job you're applying for. Scrutinize the job description and identify the key skills they are looking for based on their job description. If you possess those skills, make sure they're explicitly mentioned on your resume, using the exact terminology from the job posting. Think of it as speaking the ATS's language. Step 7. Education. Keep it concise unless you're fresh out of the ivory tower. If you graduated more than 5 years ago, your education section should be straightforward. List your degree, your major, your university, and your graduation date. Unless your GPA was truly exceptional, think Dean's List or higher, it's generally safe to leave it off at this stage of your career. If you didn't complete a degree, focus on relevant coursework, certifications, or any specialized training that you've undertaken. Certifications can be particularly valuable, especially in fields like technology, project management, and digital marketing. They demonstrate a commitment to professional development and often carry significant weight with employers. Step 8. Additional sections. Only include if they actually add value and aren't just padding. There are a few optional sections that you might consider including, but only if they genuinely strengthen your application. Certifications. As mentioned earlier, these are often worth highlighting. Languages. If you're fluent in more than one language, definitely include it. It can be a significant asset in today's globalized marketplace. Volunteer work. Relevant volunteer experience, especially if if it aligns with the type of role that you are seeking. It can demonstrate valuable skills and a commitment to your community. However, resist the urge to include sections that don't directly contribute to your professional narrative. Hobbies and interests, while they might make for interesting dinner conversation, they generally do not belong on a professional resume unless they're directly relevant to the job. Your resume should be lean, mean, and focused, not a biographical encyclopedia. Step 9. Design, because visual appeal matters, but don't go overboard. Your resume's design should be clean, professional, and easy on the eyes, just like my wife. Think of it as the visual equivalent of a well-tailored suit. Here are some guidelines. Keep it to 1 page if you have less than 10 years of experience. For more extensive careers, 2 pages are generally acceptable, but remember, recruiters are busy. Respect their time. Choose a professional sans serif font like Arial, Helvetica, Calibri. Avoid overly decorative or difficult to read fonts like Comic Sans, unless you're intentionally trying to elicit a chuckle, which is generally not the goal here. Use clear section headings and ample white space. A cluttered resume is overwhelming and makes it difficult for recruiters to quickly find the information they need. Think of white space as breathing room for your content. And avoid fancy colors and graphics, unless you're applying for a role in a creative field where visual design is a part of your job. For most professions, a clean black and white design is the way to go. Don't include a photo unless it's specifically requested, which is rare in most industries, at least in North America. Photos take up valuable space and can introduce unconscious bias, like it or not. The ATS gauntlet, writing a resume that speaks robot. Now let's talk specifically about the elephant in the digital hiring room, the applicant tracking system, specifically, the ATS. These software programs are used by many companies to filter and rank job applications. To ensure your resume doesn't get lost in the digital void, here's what you need to know. As you can imagine, keywords are king. As mentioned earlier, ATS scans for specific keywords related to the job requirements. Carefully analyze the job description and incorporate those keywords naturally throughout your resume, especially in your skills and your work experience sections. Don't just stuff keywords in there. Make sure they flow within the context of your accomplishments, creating a career narrative. Simple formatting is your ally. Avoid overly complex formatting, tables, graphs, and unusual fonts. These can confuse the ATS and prevent it from properly parsing your information. Stick to a clean, straightforward layout. Use standard section headings. Label your sections clearly with common headings like summary and experience, skills, education. This helps the ATS understand the structure of your resume. Save as a PDF, usually. Unless the job posting specifically requests a different format, saving your resume as a PDF generally ensures that your formatting remains consistent across different systems. However, be mindful of job postings that might explicitly ask for a doc or a docx file. Avoid headers and footers. Information in headers and footers might not be read correctly by ATS. Keep your essential information within the main body of your resume. Use bullet points. Bullet points are generally well parsed by ATS and are a great way to present your accomplishments concisely. Check for hidden characters. Sometimes when copying and pasting text from different sources, hidden characters can be introduced that can confuse the ATS. Try typing your resume directly or using a plain text editor to clean up any potential issues. We see that a lot with people who use ChatGPT. By keeping these ATS considerations in mind, you'll significantly increase the chances of your resume making it through the initial screening process and into the hands of an actual human being recruiter. Step 10, final check, the crucial last dance before you send. Before you unleash your resume into the wild, take these critical steps. Read it out loud. This helps you catch awkward phrasing and grammatical errors that your eyes might otherwise skip over. Run a spell check and a grammar check. Typos are the fastest way to get your resume tossed into the no pile. They scream lack of attention to detail. Get a second or third opinion. Ask a trusted friend, a mentor, or career counselor to review your resume. Fresh eyes often catch mistakes you've been blind to. You can even reach out to me at info@d2thrive.com. Wrapping it up. Go forth and conquer, professionally speaking. Don't go all Viking on us. And there you have it. A resume that's not just a document, but a strategic tool designed to get you noticed and, more importantly, hired. We've ditched the outdated fluff, embraced the powerful, impactful language, and even navigated the treacherous terrain of the ATS. If this video has armed you with the knowledge to transform your resume from a career roadblock to a career runway, then hit that like button, subscribe for more career wisdom and occasional dry wit, and drop a comment below if you have any burning questions or any humble brags about your soon-to-be perfected resume. Now go forward, job seekers, and land that dream role. The world, or at least your next employer, awaits. Like if you like, sub if you sub, share if you share. I'm Thrive. Bye.